Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to uh, cut through the noise, basically, taking complex sources and turning them into, well, hopefully clear and engaging conversations.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into Gujarat. It's this really remarkable state on India's western coast. We want to uncover what makes it tick, what makes it, as our sources put it so nicely, vibrant, unbreakable, and ever-inspiring. So, when you hear Gujarat, what pops into your head? We've sifted through a whole stack of material history, culture, future plans, really trying to get a handle on its unique spirit. Expect some surprising bits and maybe a few aha moments along the way.
Exactly. And that's what this is all about, isn't it? Giving you a shortcut, really, to being properly informed about this place. It's often called a land of legends and dreams. And we're aiming to pull out the why it matters right from the start, showing how it's, deep past, it's lively present, and where it's headed. It's all connected.
Okay, let's dig in then. The sources, they talk about Gujarat's history being as grand as its landscape. And honestly, that feels right. Its roots go way back. We're talking Indus Valley civilization ancient. What really jumped out at me was learning about places like Lothal, not just some old settlement, but apparently one of the world's earliest known dockyards. I mean, imagine that. Thousands of years ago, it was already a hub for traders. Kind of lays the groundwork for its economic vibe today, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And what's fascinating, really, is tracing that line directly from ancient trade to Gujarat's modern spirit of enterprise. Our research shows how it navigated, dynasties rising and falling, Solanki kings, the Sultan, and all of that. But through it all, its core spirit, that sort of entrepreneurial drive, it just kept soaring. This resilience, it's not just about bouncing back. You see it in how communities and businesses constantly adapt, innovate. It's quite inspiring, actually.
Speaking of impact, what really struck me wasn't just the ancient stuff, but someone much more recent, Mahatma Gandhi. How profoundly he shaped India and really
Yeah.
the world, right from Gujarat. His Sabarmati ashram. That message of nonviolence echoing globally. It's pretty incredible when you think about that kind of influence originating there.
Right. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, Gandhi's philosophy wasn't like in a vacuum. It seems to tap into something deeper, maybe an inherent value system within the region itself.
Yeah.
Think about Swaraj, self-rule. It resonates with Gujarat's long history of self-reliance, community action. You see it in cooperative social enterprises even now. It really shows how those deep values still shape things today: peace, progress, independence, that sort of thing.
And from those deep roots, wow, the culture just blossoms, doesn't it? Our deep dive showed Gujarat isn't just history books, it's alive. A festival of colors, flavors, and traditions. That description, spot on. You can't think Gujarat without picturing Garba and Dandiya nights, right? They're not just dances. It's like pure electric energy during Navratri. People twirling, sticks clicking. The whole atmosphere is just unique, lights up the night like nowhere else.
And building on that energy, you got things like the Rann of Kutch. That's celebration out on the White Salt Desert under the moonlight. Sounds incredible. These aren't just tourist shows either. They really reflect the region's boundless creativity, as the
Yeah.
sources put it. It seems central to their identity, artistry in daily life, and in these huge festivals.
Totally. And speaking of artistry, the handicrafts, we can't skip those. The sources go into detail on bandhani fabrics, those amazing tie-dye patterns, and patola saris, so vibrant, that complex weaving, and Kuchi embroidery too. The details just phenomenal. It says each piece is a story woven in silk and thread. You really get a sense of pride, of heritage in those crafts.
Which brings up an interesting point. When we look at these intricate crafts, these massive festivals, how do they feed into that idea of Gujarat as a land of dreams?
That's a good question. Is it maybe the passion behind it all? Or something about connecting with traditions?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think the sources suggest it's very much that connection. They reflect this unique artistic heritage, but they're also, constantly innovating within those old forms. It's like history isn't just preserved in a museum, it's being lived, being reimagined all the time.
And the food. Can't forget the food. Any journey through Gujarat involves the taste buds, for sure. The sources describe it so well. You've got dokla, that savory steamed cake, light and spongy. And thepla, the flatbread, great for traveling. Every bite is this burst of flavors, sweet, sour, spicy, often all at once. It's a whole culinary adventure. Okay, moving on to some landmarks. Because exploring Gujarat, visually, it's unforgettable. We have to start with the Statue of Unity. Huge. Our research confirms, world's tallest statue, honoring Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, standing there by the Narmada River. It's more than just big, isn't it? It feels like a symbol of unity, of aspiration.
Right. And then on the other end of the time scale, you have that ancient devotion. It's palpable at places like Somnath and Dwarka temples. These sites, they tell tales of devotion dating back millennia. They really give you a sense of Gujarat's deep spiritual core, drawing pilgrims forever.
And for nature enthusiasts, there's Jur National Park. Pretty special place. It's the only home of the majestic Asiatic lion. A rare chance to see that kind of wildlife, in its raw beauty. A unique ecosystem right there.
And one thing that really stood out in the research, for me anyway, was the Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad. It's such a clear example of blending heritage and modernity. You've got Gandhi's ashram nearby, this historical weight right alongside contemporary urban design. It really embodies that theme we keep touching on in Gujarat: past and future walk hand in hand. It's almost like a blueprint for how you can do that thoughtfully.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like Gujarat's core identity, coming through all these sources, is really this story of enterprise, courage, and boundless creativity. It genuinely seems to be a place where the past informs the future. Ancient ports, modern industries, sacred sites, cutting edge cities, they coexist.
So what's the takeaway for you, the listener? Well, understanding a place like this with such a rich tapestry, it helps us appreciate how history, culture, innovation, how they all weave together to shape a region's identity. It shows how deep roots don't just anchor a place, they can actually fuel some incredible forward-looking growth.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. When you look around at places you know well, how do you see them managing that balance, that tension between deep-rooted traditions and the drive for what's next? And what kind of unique spirit does that particular balance create? Something to think about. We hope this deep dive got you curious to keep exploring stories like these.